6 attacks with Great Weapon Master. You are doing as much damage as a fighter, but you have a lot of spell slots, and you have a lot more armor class. Hello guys, and welcome to another video. This video has been requested by all of you guys. Made a poll yesterday, and we got 100 votes. That's crazy, guys. I didn't expect to get that many. Thank you for voicing your opinions, and this is what you've requested. So we're going to be going about the GISH Warlock Bard build. As you can see, we have a few options, and we're going to go through them down the line analytically. But now we're going to talk about the overview of it. For stats, I broke it down into two different options. One of them is the Storm Bard and Smite Overlord Bard, which are going to be getting levels in Cleric and Paladin, so you are going to have proficiency with heavy armor down the line. If you're respec into Paladin at level 9, I would recommend level 9 and not level 8, because there is a bug where if your first level of multiclassing with spellcasting classes is Paladin, and the second one isn't, you lose 2 first level spell slots. I know it's weird, just get it at level 9, respec at level 9, trust me. Or respec at level 8 and take 2 levels of Paladin and learn Wizard again at level 9. So if you go Tempest Cleric, you'll get the heavy armor proficiency, so you don't need to respec. Broken the stats down into two options. One is for the ones that get heavy armor proficiency, and you should change your stats into this once you do get it. But until you do, you should be going for the attack menace build. It has a higher dexterity, that's the only difference. One of them has a higher dexterity than the other. And since you are not going to be wearing medium or heavy armor, you're going to need high dexterity, especially if you're going to be in the face of your enemy. Also, dexterity will help you a lot when you're attacking your enemies without using charisma as your spellcasting ability, which you're going to be getting at level 10. Up to that point, you're going to be needing a high dexterity. Unless you plan to go with strength, then go move it into strength. Let's say you go Paladin and you want to wield a great weapon. Again, you have that option. Always get the Band of Intelligence from the Ogres. It's a really important item, guys. Do not skip this. It sets your stats of Intelligence to 17, and it allows you to prepare Wizard spells. We'll talk about that. So let's talk about the saving throw proficiencies. So we start Bard with these builds. The saving throw proficiencies of all these classes are not great. Saving throw proficiencies of these classes are not great. So I would start Bard because instead of Wisdom saving throw, you get Dexterity saving throw. And if you're going to be in the face of the enemy, you're going to be getting Firebolt, Fairy Fire, Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning. They're going to be throwing you a lot of spells that rely on Dexterity. Wisdom saves are also good, are also important. It just feels that Dexterity will save you from a lot of damage, and you're going to be taking a lot of damage, and you're not a very tanky class. So yes, you have high armor class, but if you cannot get a good save on those fireballs, it doesn't matter if you have a high armor class. So I would get Dex. Okay, we'll go through the Bard build, but what you essentially get at level 6 is extra attack, and at level 3 we go College of Swords. These are the most important levels for Bard. Yeah, so when you go College of Swords, you get the Defensive Flourish ability, which allows you to add +4 to your armor class when you make that attack. So instead of having, let's say, 16 armor class, you go up to 20. And when you get shield from Wizard, you're going to be able to go up to 25. And that's if you have only, 16 armor class, which we plan to have a higher one. Because if you're wearing a shield, medium armor. Also, if you go half-elf, you get proficiency with medium armor. So I would consider it. So at level 5, your inspiration dice reset at every short rest instead of long rest, so you can actually push the day and have useful abilities and be useful and tanky throughout the day, so you don't have to force yourself to long rest every 1 or 2 encounters. And you don't want to be conservative with your abilities, you want to use them so that you can have fun. Okay, so why 1 level in Wizard? I think we understand why we go 6 level of Bards. You get the Swords College, you get Font of Inspiration, you get ability score increase, you get your extra attack at level 6. We go levels of Warlock to get the Pact, 3 levels to get the Pact of the Blade, really important, and 5 levels to get the extra attack, because right now it stacks with the Bard attack. I think it's going to be removed in the future, so have fun with it now, that's my opinion. Your question must be why 1 level of Wizard, if you didn't watch my last video. So Wizards have been overpowered and we didn't even know about it. So when you're a 1-level wizard, you can actually, so right now my character is 1-level wizard, 5-level warlock. But I already know some wizard spells that are level 3. And you don't forget them when you respec your class, by the way. You can learn and prepare up to the highest spell slot that you know. So I have level 3 warlock spell slots. So I can actually learn fireball from the wizard. Or blink. Essentially what you're going to be doing is you're going to be learning scrolls. You're going to be learning spells that you have spell slots for. So I've broken down the spells into 2 categories. The ones that require intelligence and the ones that don't. Now, the ones that require intelligence require you to at least put on the band of intellect, not just spend points in intelligence. So that would be fireball, hold person to hold your enemies, and then crit on them a lot. And you can use higher level spell slots to target more enemies. Lightning bolt, I would choose either one of the 2 between fireball and lightning bolt. You don't need both. As you can see, you can get fireball from your fiend warlock level, so you don't exactly need fireball. You could get lightning bolt. Slow is a good spell, but you can also get it from your warlock level, from your invocation. Ray of Enfeeblement is good early on if you're fighting somebody with a lot of strength and you just want to weaken them. Dominate person is a very strong spell to consider if you go down the path that gives you 50 level spell slots. It's the only one. The rest will give you up to 4. Hold Monster as well is also a good spell for that level, and Synaptic Static. These spells are very strong, and you're gonna have access to them if you go down this route. It's a more spellcaster route though. For the no intelligence, which are actually the bread and butter of our build, the most important one is haste. If you will have 3 attacks every turn, and if you pick haste, you essentially have a free action search every turn. So you're going to be able to do 3 times 2 attacks. So that's 6 attacks. And you're going to be using your charisma modifier. And you can wear a great weapon with great weapon master. So you have 6 attacks with great weapon master. You're doing as much damage as a fighter, but you have a lot of spell slots. And you have a lot more armor class. Shield is a good reaction spell to get your armor class up to very high numbers, especially if you prioritize it and get very strong armor. Then you have greater invisibility. Greater invisibility will be good for fighting your enemy while being invisible and getting an advantage. So instead of casting haste, you could drink a haste potion and cast greater invisibility on yourself, and now you're gonna have advantage on all the attacks. So, and your enemies are gonna have disadvantage on attacks against you, but they're not even going to be able to see you, so they might not even attack you. So you have advantage on 6 attacks every turn. That's crazy. I would definitely pick learn greater invisibility with a wizard down the line. Remember, to learn these spells, you have to read them from a scroll. I repeat this. This is important. You have to find a scroll for these spells. So we're gonna have to know how to steal from vendors. Because I'm not buying everything. I'm hoarding gold. Then you have the Swift Quiver. The Swift Quiver would be good, would be very strong with this build, the Storm Bard build, because it would allow you to do, if you go the longbow range, you can do 2 bow attacks every turn, but then you can drink a haste potion and do 4 of them, and then you can also cast Swift Quiver on yourself and do 2 extra attacks with your bonus action. So it can go up to 6 attacks ranged, but it's 4 melee. 4 melee attacks and 6 ranged attacks. Find Familiar is a good spell, getting there a little bit of extra boost and help on the battlefield, or using a Raven to blind your enemies and then you get advantage on them anyway. Crazy. Or poison them with your spider. Then you have Misty Step. Misty Step is a very good spell to have as a melee class. It allows you to get exactly on the target you want and bash their heads in. And then you have Dimension Door and Blink. Dimension Door is good it's a utility spell. You don't really need it for combat. but it can help you travel a very long distance. And then Blink is a very strong ability that if you're very squishy, you can get lucky and get outside of and use it before combat even or during combat, and then you just pop out of existence and come back, bash your enemies, and then you pop out of existence again. So they can't really do much about it unless you get unlucky. And you could save scam it, but yeah, don't do that. Well, you shouldn't be doing it. If an enemy is way too hard, you could abuse it, save, and try to get blinked out of existence and basically kill them without them being able to do anything. Could have become a god of shinobi or something. What am I missing here? Okay, we didn't talk about feats. So there's 4 feats I would consider about this build. 4 ability score increases. I would consider, first of all, maxing your charisma. That K-maxed is actually very strong for a class that uses their charisma on their weapon die. However, since you're not going to be getting another ability score increase for the other classes, you might want to say, okay, I'll stay with 18 charisma, and I'll be using Great Weapon Master or Sharpshooter. Depends on if you go melee or the build route. And I would go melee. I wouldn't go the melee Great Weapon Master route. It's very cool to do that big damage. You know, this is what we want. I would even consider taking Paladin levels later to get that proficiency. But you have high enough of a dexterity. It's not going to be a big problem until you get to the end game. Now, other feats that you can consider are Warcaster, and I would only consider Warcaster for the attack menace build. You have 2 ability score increases, and then you can choose Great Weapon Master at one of the 2, and you can get Great Weapon Master on the other one, or Warcaster on the other one. And then you go into the enemy's face, and if they try to run away from you, you can cast Hold Person on them. And oh my god, if they fail, they're safe. They're so down. You're gonna be critting them for double damage the turn afterwards. And you're gonna have 6 attacks. Well, wait, if you're gonna be hasted, you can't actually do that. But if you drink a haste potion, hey, you can still do it. So this is a very cool build, and it's gonna give you so many options and opportunities that maybe I'm missing even a lot of these things. Imagine if somebody tries to run away from you, and you cast Dominate Person. And then they start hitting their allies, and it's still their turn, right? So you're stealing the enemy in their turn, and they play for you now. Hey guys, so I have a long video where I go through the steps one by one inside the game for this build. If you'd like to see that, please drop a like on the video, and if we go over 200 likes, let's say, I'll also post that as a part 2 to this one. Thank you. Cool stuff, guys. This is gonna be a long video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.